So I am Stacy Gustafson, and my chiropractic journey has been quite the journey, actually. I had been seeing a chiropractor throughout high school playing sports, and I broke my tailbone in college, and so I had seen one before coming to Heart and Hand. But about 3.5 years ago, I was in a car accident with my family. We got T-boned, and as a result of that, I got pretty substantial whiplash, subluxations to my back and my ribs. And I also brought my daughter in who had some issues with her collarbone from her 5-point harness. And she also had subluxations in her back. And so we came in about a month after and we saw Dr. Ryan. And our plan of attack was I came in 2 to 3 times a week. I did at home traction, in-office traction, and adjustments, obviously. Pretty sure I did almost all the traction that is in the office. And I was on my road to recovery, and then 4 months after the car accident, I got in another car accident driving on I-25 home. I was rear-ended, and I was actually on my way home from the chiropractor. And so I called up the office and I said, hey, can I come back? And came back. Dr. Ryan adjusted me again. My ribs were back out, basically re-aggravated everything we'd worked on. And I remember that day specifically I was emotional, and Dr. Ryan said, are you upset because it hurts? And I said, well, it hurts, but I'm just so mad because I was almost healed. I was almost there. And so in the meantime, so I guess we went back to doing 2 to 3 times a week. We did the traction again, adjustments, and then we started working on my back muscles to try to keep my ribs in because they were coming out so quickly after an adjustment. And I was on my road to recovery there. Meanwhile, my husband and my daughter started coming, or were continuing to come, and I will say it is definitely true that they did not get sick as often. My daughter, every 6 to 8 weeks, almost to the day, was getting ear infections. She hasn't had an ear infection in years. My husband, the same thing, got colds really easily, and it would go straight to his lungs, bronchitis or pneumonia. Again, hasn't happened to him in quite a long time. And so then the next part of my journey, though, is that April of 2019, I had a surgery. And so I was going to take a couple weeks off from the chiropractor in my adjustments while I recovered. And but the next day after my surgery, I woke up and the whole right side of my face was drooping and I couldn't see out of my right eye. And I went to the neurologist. He couldn't figure out what was wrong. I went to the eye doctor, still couldn't figure out what was wrong. And I made an appointment, came in and saw Dr. Ryan. And if anybody watches The Good Doctor, Dr. Ryan looks just like him as he looked up and was trying to figure out what was going on. And so that's what it reminds me of that day. And anyways, what we found was the very top vertebrae got injured during surgery. He adjusted it. The next day, my face was not droopy. Came back in a couple days later, and I could see without blurry vision in my right eye. So, we'd been doing all of this work, and I was definitely a believer in chiropractic. But after that, I was the true believer of he'd fixed my back, my neck, all of these random things, and then now my face. And so that was pretty cool and pretty crazy to see. And then there are the numerous other things that he has helped us to do of sledding accidents. My husband and I went sledding and we decided to ride together, and we hit really hard and hurt my back. And then, not long after, we had another sledding incident where I went over a mound of snow into the trees and hurt my ankle, and so he fixed my ankle. And my most recent one being I decided to ride my daughter's hoverboard, which was a terrible idea. She got it for Christmas, and lo and behold, I fell on my wrist and thought it was broken. It wasn't, but I came in. Dr. Ryan basically unjammed it, used the fancy little tool in the back to get the scar tissue broken up, and now it's functioning again. So all in all, my journey has kind of been up and down and up and down, but my family is definitely healthier. All of my injuries have been fixed. I'm sure there's more to come, but we love it and we continue to come week after week.
What would you say to people that would be looking at coming to Heart and Hand Chiropractic?
I would recommend it to anybody. Like I said, I I had seen the chiropractor before in my younger years, but not on a consistent basis, like Dr. Ryan and Heart and Hand. And the amount of, I would say, passion that they have in just helping the patients and educating, I think is really cool. So I would definitely recommend them.